balanced budget amendment in its constitution. Idaho is among several states making headlines for controversial legislation that would require a woman have an ultrasound before having an abortion.
Well, now that controversy is actually playing out in a popular nationally syndicated cartoon that was printed in today's Idaho Statesman. Reporter Eric Fink takes an in-depth look.
Idaho is among a handful of states with proposed legislation on the table requiring women get an ultrasound before having an abortion. Today, political cartoonist Garry Trudeau is starting a week-long storyline in his Doonseberry comic strip that expresses his disdain for similar legislation surfacing around the country. Doonseberry runs in more than 1,000 papers nationwide, and some papers are deciding not to touch it. But Kevin Richard with the Idaho Statesman is printing the cartoon storyline all this week to highlight what Richard calls an important issue in our national discourse.
The topic is timely, it's in the public debate, and I felt like the cartoons belonged as part of the public debate here in this community.
Earlier this session, Senator Chuck Winder of Boise introduced a controversial ultrasound bill. I showed him the Doonseberry cartoon for the first time. He chuckled, but ultimately this Republican hopes his legislation will soon help save lives.
I'm a person that believes that I should speak for the ones that can't speak. And a developing child has no voice. Who else has a better right to speak for them than the state?
But the local chapter of Planned Parenthood called Winder's bill an illustration of the evolving war on women's health.
It's about shaming and demeaning women who are attempting to access safe and legal reproductive health care. It's putting the politicians in that exam room and making that decision, not taking into account individual needs and circumstances, and certainly not taking into account any medicine.
Trudeau's commentary will run through Saturday in the Idaho Statesman. In Boise, Eric Fink, today's Channel 6 News.
The debate on the ultrasound bill is now only heating up. On Wednesday morning, the Senate State Affairs Committee will hold a public hearing. Senator Winder says he welcomes the debate.